Hi,
Hi.
this is Allison.
Hi. This
Ah,
is Jupiter Moons. How are you guys doing today? We're here with the energy update. So I'm going to let Allison take it this time. What is on the menu?
Energy-wise, it is deep. I would say that anything and everything that you're still carrying that is down deep is coming up. So there's no way of saying across the board what anyone is dealing with. It's all your unresolved shit that you just haven't looked at. And I'm finding a few people that are just like inundated, and it's like a backup that they're not even knowing where to start yet. One at a time. Just pick a topic, sit, go inside, do what you need to do, and just keep moving on. Um, this weekend, it does feel as though we're going to have some other massive energetic hits, I guess, for lack of a better term. But I also had down that the dragons are coming in full force this weekend to pretty much the image that they showed me is to whip up all the energies, to whip up
Mhm.
all the stagnant energies, to assist people in being able to pick through your stuff, so you're not in as much density. It's as though all the winds, and I laughed going, oh yeah, of course there's a hurricane coming this weekend, which was kind of funny to me when they told me about the dragons coming. So we are being given an opportunity to really pick and choose and let go, as much as we can by that whole stagnant pot being stirred, which is, don't freak out that you've got 100 things that you need to look at. Just realize, just let them go. Just, just do what you can and get them out of here.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, you just sit there and because a lot of this stuff is being shown to you, but some stuff is also the ego trying to keep writing. Like, I just sit there and go, I choose not to believe in this anymore. I'm done with this. And then I push it away. Now, if it's deep rooted in the heart, you'll know because you'll start crying. You will automatically will start crying. So just release it and just surrender it because it's going to show you, especially, I told you about the Arcturians working on me last night. So as soon as I woke up, I had some things coming up with like a previous relationship and I just, that I had, and all this stuff still coming up, like still writing. And I was just like, wow, all right. So can I just let go of this now? But crying is releasing. So I'm not going to hold back my tears. I'm going to cry. I'm going to let it go. And then also, it gets even better because you got to dig deeper. So what are your feelings that you're feeling? Is it hurt? Is it pain? Is it betrayal? Is it resentment?
Grief,
Is
shame,
it
anger.
grief,
Yeah.
shame, anger? Are you angry? Are you mad? At this beautiful mirror reflection of, your relationships that you have with people are just mirrors anyways to show you what to pull up. Um, so you go in deeper. So when did I feel like this first? When did I feel the abandonment? What age did I feel it? Was it at 2? Was it at 3? Was it at 5? How many times did I feel it? Go in deeper and into your child because it's the inner child that we're trying to release on so many levels throughout all the bodies. And really, you have to start breaking it and tearing it apart. If you can't find the memory, that's good. that's actually an A plus. So just like leave it there. Okay, so I'm not finding it. So then release what is the current? What is the currency of what is going on right now? But you really need to sit there and go in and break it because it's coming up. And if it keeps coming up, then there's something you got to dig deeper into releasing it. You could just say it's already done and just be like, I'm releasing all of it now. And that's it. I mean, you could just do it as simple as that too. But I
Which
like
does
to sit there and really, I want to make sure that I'm not writing on something old too.
Right, and as you're explaining that, they're saying that there are times where we've taken care of the root of the problem, like the memory's gone. We're like, okay, I've already resolved that, the memory's gone. But then what keeps coming up is all the residual.
Mm-hmm.
We cleared the root, but we didn't clear it out of ourselves, all of the pain and the emotions that related to it, attached to that event.
Yeah.
So we just keep bringing it up and bringing in more and making new stories to it that aren't even
It's writing on a new story, but if you are able to realize, if you are able to check it right away and say, this is a story, I am letting go. Like, this is it. Okay.
Exactly.
Let's, like, we'll just put up, you know, betrayal in a lover's relationship. Okay. So, you know, it's a beautiful lesson for you, but it's your responsibility. You're still responsible, and it is kind of your fault too, in a sense. You know, you have to be responsible for your actions too as well. So you can't place blame on the person, because you were, you know, there's two individuals here. I don't know why I actually want to go into that, but if it keeps writing and keeps writing and you haven't let it go, you know, you kind of have to dig deeper and digging deeper on it, and just really letting, you know, just letting it all go, letting the relationship go. It was a lesson to be learned. It was an experience, but also a lot of it was to help you look at all your programs that were writing inside of you, to be able to pull them all up, to let them go. I mean, that's what it is. And it's something me and you were talking about on the phone the other day, even with people passing away too, the loved ones that we lose. So, you know, a lot of stuff is for us to bring stuff to the surface so it can be cleared. Unfortunately, sometimes it is painful, but we don't want to live in pain and suffering anymore. That's the whole point of going, you know, into the new earth frequency.
True.
So,
well, and that, I mean, that brings to another thing on the list that had to do with our beliefs.
yeah, it's belief systems. Yep.
And twice, I mean, I've gotten the messages in two different forms in the last couple of days. That's basically saying we have to look at our beliefs.
Mm-hmm.
We have to dig deep. Why do you believe it? Why is that belief there? Because there's many things that we go, like, this is the highest example of what we can think of, or the highest example that we witness someone else do.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Still looking at it. The Woo, I know, I am still looking at it. But the underlying thing that they were saying is, just because I think that what I believe is the highest and the best for all, doesn't mean that it is.
Exactly.
It doesn't. And it was like, because there's, you know, people that are in whatever culture, whatever part of the world, whatever civilization, whatever family, this is the proper way to act. This is, you know, the most benevolent, loving way to act. And yet, is it? And it begins, we have to call ourselves, because they're saying that this is just on a soul level. This is not on a human level. And so all the beliefs that we keep making up, or saying that we're buying into, or that this is what I believe, are all on a human level and have nothing to do with on a soul level.
On a soul level, yes.
So again, it's like the soul doesn't have that judgment, that, you know, whatever of, I don't even know what the words are, racism or any of the rest of the stuff. So those are sure signs that if you're having emotional reactions to anything, if you're having triggers, if you're having, you know, anger, whatever the response or reaction is, that tells you that's from your human. That's from your human. Because I was questioning, I'm like, but, you know, because they go, this is the human emotions. And the bottom line of what they said was, this work is about the soul and not human feelings. I'll just read it, it makes it easier. Information that comes through is at a soul level, and any feelings that arise are what is to be looked at. To clear the human of perceptions and beliefs, we're altering the physical forms to inhabit our infinite being soul. It can and will use the human emotional system as tools in its work, but we have to make sure we are not still living in the old emotional system, so that it can be used properly and fully without interference. So that is another reason why we have all of these emotions coming up, all of the triggers, all of everything, so that in essence, this physical body vehicle is at neutral. Then the soul will be able to use our emotional bodies, our intellectual bodies, and all the rest of it in the highest manner. So pretty much, if you're triggered, if you're angry, get rid of it. We've got to clear it out.
Yeah. And don't keep going with because the old stories will keep trying to come in. It's really funny. It's like looping, and I just sit there and laugh. I'm like, wow, okay. So I can shift it and move it really quickly. It happens a lot when I'm just waking up, which is, you know, interesting to me. I noticed that that's when basically it's starting. But I have the Arcturians working on me at night.
Yeah, I have
so
too.
When it makes sense when you're waking up, you know, all the stuff is going to come to the surface, of course. But I'm still in a good vibration, if that makes sense. Like I'm able to recognize everything, and I just sit there and shift and move it. Like another thing that my counsel was talking about today, I actually posted a video on Teal Swan, you know, because I did a reading with someone, you know, they're just coming into their gifts, which is funny because you just posted something about the newbies being woken up, you know, wide open, you know, and I was like, oh boy, okay, she's going to need some serious, okay, I'm going to do the best I can to get you, at least centered at least a little bit. So I was going to just, some type of shielding around her, and because it's most likely with the frequency that she's at that she needs it. But getting into it, my counsel, I was setting up today, and they're just laughing at me, and I'm like, protection circle and blah blah blah, going into the whole like, let me set up the space and the energetic bubble, and they're like, why? And I was like, well, because. And they're like, why do you feel like you need safety? Why are you always in protected mode? Right?
Yep.
Why do you feel like you need protection? They're like, how many times do we have to tell you that you are at a high vibrational frequency? You are riding so high, you don't need it. These are creation beliefs that you keep running over and over. And I'm like, okay. Like, I'm sorry, at first, I mean, they're not that strong with me, but they are, but you can feel the urgency because they've been really trying to work this in me for almost about a month now. And I'm like, okay. So then I put on, the video of Teal Swan I actually send to this beautiful new being that's coming online. And she says the same thing. So I sat there and I'm like in my car and I'm like, all right, I'll start listening to you guys. And they were like, yeah, okay.
Well, and I feel the same way about grounding.
I'll start listening to you more. That's what I was telling.
Yeah, thank you. That's nice. But I feel the same way about grounding. It's like, of course I'm grounded because I'm on this planet.
Yeah.
I'm here. But anyway.
Well, that's the other thing is like, that's also belief system too. Why do we feel we need to be grounded all the time? Do we really need to be grounded? Like, why can't we be up in the higher realms? I mean, except for when you're driving a car. All right, I get it. Or, me as a parent, I have to come down. There's a point I have to literally come down and function as a parent and ground a little bit, you can't be all the way floating up. But yeah, that's another thing is the grounding is just another 3D dimensional belief system, I guess. It's just another belief system, Well, everything is a belief system. Even everything the galactics could even be a belief system. And I told them that. I was like, one day I might not believe in you guys anymore. And they were just like, that's good because that's evolution. Thank you. If you don't, we're fine. They're like, it's all right. At least you're evolving. They're like, happy.
That's true.
Well, and
I think the difference of grounding is again bringing things into the physical form. That's what we're here to be doing, is upgrading the physical forms so that we can come into the forms as an avatar and use them.
Yes.
That's the whole purpose of this ascension. So the grounding from that point that we've been taught over and over and over is actually this exercise of attempting to bring me down into the physical form.
Yes. Which is the highest of the highest avatar self that wants to come in. That's what you're integrating. Yeah. I've reached avatar states of consciousness. Okay. First when I got completely wide open, and then I've reached a few of them before and stepping into it. And then of course it goes back down, I guess you would say, or they, I don't know how to explain that, just to show me what I still need to work on. Right. So it's like we can reach. It's something I've noticed is some of us are reaching those states, and then being brought back down, reaching the states, and then being. It's hard. It's hard to function, but once you work through everything, and then eventually you could stay. You can stay in that state, and they call it the 0 point state, but we're talking about the avatar consciousness too as well, and then the super consciousness.
Which both of those, but see, it goes like this at the same time and meets in the middle pretty much, because you're raising the physical form and you're going through the work from the avatar consciousness, so there's a middle point. So in essence, everything that we're being shown on the higher to work through is in concert with all of the lower stuff that we're trying to work through, so that the two meet and join, and we are avatar in a human form.
Yes. Which has to do with the physical system. So we're talking about, when we say lower, we're going into the lower chakras. So, and then we'll be back up in the high chakras and then going back into the low chakras. The whole point is actually being
in the heart.
In the heart center, which, we'll get into that. Wait, let's get into that. Let's finish this topic, which I don't even.
I don't know, 4 or 5
what happens when you're talking about. So they're protection and safety, and is victim mentality. Okay, and that's something that they were explaining, is that I'm still, for me and for my experiences, which for everybody who is listening, these are our experiences. Okay, we are talking about our experiences. Not everybody is going to have these experiences, and we're definitely not telling people what to do. I don't know why they wanted me to say that today, but just for people to actually to know that everybody has their own experiences. So I'm going to go back and so when was the first, you have to dig deep, like when was the first time that you felt unsafe, and then what age? And that's where you have to face it, and you have to look at it, and you have to basically get rid of those. I mean, they to look at them as frequency signatures. So that's what they were explaining. They're like, so you need to go in and look. And then of course for me, because I go up into my super consciousness so much, so when across all time and space did you feel unsafe, or in what life, because it's the only thing, we're free of our karma. Okay, it's our karma. Once the heart center is completely wide open, you don't have karma, and I don't care what anybody says. Your karma is released. It's the second stage of ascension. Okay, it's the memories on the cellular level that are riding. So right. when you reach the super consciousness state, I could be riding off of any type. Well, simultaneously, it could be any timelines, across all time and space, where I was a victim or victimizer, or we could go more into it. But see, you just have to clear it and just get rid of it as fast as possible. That's what they're explaining. They're like, stop recreating these programs. You're creating it. And if the thoughts create, basically, I mean, we're in a hologram. Never mind. Just go. We'll get into that. I'll write that down for our next video.
And our words as well. I mean, yes, exactly.
The matrix system, it's a holographic. To me, it's just, once you get up to the super consciousness, it's a supercomputer. That's what we are. We have souls. I mean, yes, we have souls. I don't know. Go ahead. Because now I'm sitting here having all these epiphanies.
Nicely done. You did a really good job on that. Yes. Very well said.
I'm sitting here going, is soul just a belief system? And then we get even higher.
Yes. Yeah, a soul is just a belief system, because we had to call it something, this spark, this thread of universal light matter, and we just called it a soul. Somebody called it a soul at some point, and it stuck. And that's the term we use, but it's understandable. People know what we're talking about. But you're right. And then we're talking about the oversoul, which is responsible for all of those sparks and all of my bodies that are having simultaneous experiences and all my past, future, current lives.
Yeah.
And it's like, again, okay, so it's my soul split into thousands of pieces. Well, it's not really a soul, but it's the light fragment reflecting in many directions, yes, simultaneously. Because it's like we are a diamond. And I can, the essence, the frequency that is me, reflects refracts, reflects, or whatever
Yeah.
in multiple physical forms, non-physical forms, lives, times, all at the same time.
Yeah.
That's just what we are. So it is coming time to have a new vocabulary.
It is, and
Right.
we'll work on that as we go.
Oh, sure, why not?
And changing our vocabulary. My experience, I do want to go into super consciousness a little bit. You know, when you have reached the super consciousness state, even if it's for a week or for a day, is when you go to your best friend, like I did to Allison, going, "Are you just me?" Do you remember what I said? Because it's like, you are just me and I am you. And you're just a mirror of me. So are you just me? Like, is this like, how does this work? Remember when I came to you? Because you go up so high, you're able to see everything. And and the first time I went up there, I was scared shitless because I think I got up there really fast. And it was a lot for my human self. I know the fear program is writing where I'm like, okay, I've lost it. This is it. I mean, like, which is obviously this is a DMT activating in my brain. Okay, the Kundalini basically, rose all the way up, and I was flying high up in the higher realms, which accessed my super consciousness. And that's when I was showing that we're all one. Everything is kind of like a mirror reflection. We are all just fragment pieces of source, a complete 360 mirror degree hologram matrix system. Shit you not. That's what I was showing. Freaked me the fuck out. I'm going to say the F word because it was really traumatic for my human self going, oh, I lost it. Like, that's it. Like, okay, but I was showing something early, non-prepared, which is okay because that's how they do me anyways. That's how my higher self does me, just pulling me right up there and go, you want to see? Let me pull you up. Let me just show you what this is. When I actually came to the most beautiful experience of my life, realizing that we really are all just one. We are all fragment pieces of source. We are all one. And if we could just get through all of it, we could all be in unity consciousness. It wouldn't be like this anymore. And then that's when you start trickling down a little bit, and then you start going into more of the records, which are your records, and remembering when actually it wasn't like this. And we all were in unity consciousness. And then you're accessing the other stuff that we can't even do here anymore because it got down to such a low density. Well, okay, fine, not in this dimension. It depends on what earth you're on. Thank you guys for reminding me. But beautiful. It was the most beautiful experience. But it was hilarious when I went to you, Allison, and I'm like, so. Do you remember that? You were like, well, yeah. And I'm like, all right. And I was like, all right, I'm going to go home now and really try to comprehend all of this stuff.
And yeah. But it is comprehensible. I mean, it's like when we get it, when we understand it, when we see it, feel it, whatever, it's like, I get it. And it adds that whole other layer to, like, the oversoul, because we've talked about the oversoul before. And if you imagine it as a supervisor, it's not the boss, because the boss would be your Christed soul, which is another level above that one. Yeah. But the oversoul is basically overseeing, say I'm 1,000, we'll just use 1,000. Many of us have had hundreds of thousands of lives, basically. But if I pick 1,000, then my oversoul is responsible for all 1,000 of those lifetimes throughout time, space, reality, dimensions, physical, non-physical, whatever it is I am or was, all at the same time. So it is responsible for all of the me's doing all of the things that they're doing, like, right now, because for the oversoul it's happening right now. And when we are having this bleed through, like you're talking about, it's as though I'm discussing with the oversoul what it is I'm wanting to do, which I guess is our higher self in many ways. What we've always called the higher self would be like the oversoul.
It would
So
be.
this
I
is my,
really, yeah. Go ahead.
yeah, that's fine. And I think that's what we're rewriting it as, because it's not necessarily my higher self, but it is a higher self of myself, understanding that what we call higher selves are actually also that me, that essence of me that is in all the other physical forms. So as we're clearing and as we're raising above just this physical form, we have the ability to assist and clear all of that. So my intentions, if I'm clearing, like we were talking about betrayal, okay, I'm going to clear betrayal from this physical form, and it's almost like we pass the baton through the oversoul to another higher self, so that they can clear it in their body. They can clear it. So in essence, I'm clearing every single one of my lives, past, present, and future, as I do my work. And that's why it's becoming easier for us as we do the work. And it's hard to explain to people going, I promise you, it's difficult when you start to get in there and really have to face your shit. You have to. You just have to. And it's not that you did anything wrong. It's not, I mean, you did, but you didn't, kind of thing. It's like, if you can clear out this body and start clearing it out, you're going to be clearing out all of your other bodies at the same time. And it does get lighter and easier, because then the work, they're able to do more work. You're able to do more work. And it becomes really a collective effort of helping all of the me's to get to the oversoul, so that it's at the point where we're equal to, for lack of a better term, the oversoul, as and what's going on, which gives us that much more knowledge. Yeah. Because we're tapping into all of it, all of those experiences. We're just not taking it on. No more drama. No more drama.
Unless you. But so that is true though. So I've been sitting here going, I need my highest of my higher self, and it's my oversoul. Of course, I'm sitting there like going like this, and my oversoul, I'm in communication with, of course, now.
Right.
We'll get into that another time. So I sit here and go, I'm in you. Why are you pointing up?
Exactly.
What? They actually are all in us. There is no upper. It's all in. We are our own. We are a universe. Every single one of us is a universe. Once you get up into the super consciousness, you're going to be given this information. This is information that you're going to be given, and it's just going to blow you away. It really is going to blow you away when you realize that each individual is a universe. And then when you go into the dream states, you realize, like, when you have like dream walkers and walk-ins, I was like, so you're just walking into each other's universes. That's basically what you're doing. And then if we're all single universes. Wow, I'm really channeling right now. Or not, I don't know. I think I'm going. I think I'm in the super
well, and that's the thing about the
consciousness. But that's what it's like, being given this once you are given this information and you realize that you are your own universe, there's so much, it's just like so much you can do. Like, and you just start realizing, I mean, of course, doing it in the most divine purity of your soul, but it's beautiful information just to look at. And then when you realize, like, the reason why people see everything differently, no one's ever perception is going to be the same. It's because they're all individual universes of the whole, which the whole is the consciousness, which is we're all just consciousness. We're all of one consciousness.
And when you look at latitude, longitude of where I sit in relation to where you sit in this same fractal universe, your perspective is different. We both too can't, sit in the same spot.
Yeah.
We just can't.
You just can't. So when you're sitting there really trying to like have somebody hear, your voice or your way, or trying to control, that's ridiculous, because it's never going to happen. You're each individual own universes. Yes. It's just something that, I was being just completely shown. and then other stuff too. But
Well, and we want that for everyone. We want everyone to be able to have the information, to be able to receive this, to know this. And again, it's that image of you have to clear out to make room.
yeah,
As you do. And that's what I'm saying is you start going through these things and getting them out of you. You've got that much more room for the light to come in. I mean, it's like the dragons coming in this weekend, just mixing everything up. It's like let them get rid of the density. You know, let the water be really murky and disgusting and dirty
yeah.
in appearance, but that tells you that it's being filtered out. It's not, strong, sediment on the bottom, so to speak.
No, and I saw in it. Remember of 3 days ago. Remember, what did I message you? Was it on Sunday? I sat there and I said, so I saw dragons in the sky, like around 1 in the morning or 12. I was sitting outside. I'm sitting there going, what is that? Like you could literally see them moving through. I mean, they're huge. And I was sitting here, of course, and I could see a light in the sky, which is really awkward because I was like, wait a minute. I was looking at the time of what it was. It was like 2, 3 in the morning. And I'm like, the sun doesn't even get up till 7. I was like, what is, like, it was just, it's my universe, obviously. I was sitting there enjoying it. And then I kept seeing these huge, and they kind of look like, I would say like a muck is what you see at first, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but when you really start to see through, you'll start to see the auric fields of their colors, and it's the dragons. You can actually see them in the sky. Anybody listening to this is like, yeah, they're crazy. But I would see them. I messaged you, and it's funny that you said that they're coming this weekend. They're already coming.
They're doing their
thing
this weekend. Yes.
I was sitting there going, never a dull moment. I was like, serious. It was just beautiful to sit there and watch it.
What does it say? Dragons are coming in full force by the weekend to assist, standing guard and moving energies, stirring up energies to assist in being able to clean things up.
Yes, dragons are, they can be 5th dimensional and higher. They're high vibrational beings. You can bring them in for healing as well. Any type of energetic work or any type of clearing or cleansing that you want to do, you can bring them in.
They love that shit. They love it.
Yeah, and they like to eat it. They do. I was sitting there, go eat that for me, please. Or can you? I did that one time, and they ate my butt one time. They're like, well, you asked me to. They're like, you asked us to clear you, and I was like, what? It was my root chakra. It was my root. I remember I was having issues with my root, like really bad issues, and I was like, I need it cleared. And they snap it. Also, the spirit animals will do it too. Sorry. That's my experience, though. And I was like, wait a minute.
And it's like we call them belief systems, but yet they're energetic systems.
Yeah, they're energetic.
Maybe we will change that from belief systems to energetic systems, because what is the energy that I'm putting my faith in, putting my trust in? What is the energy that I'm feeding? What is the energy that I'm creating? Because again, when we've got the stories that we're looping and the things and the events in our life and all the rest of it, that's just energy.
I was questioning that yesterday too. It's energetic, I guess, belief systems is what you would say. Because I was sitting there going, well, the majority of the beings that I see anyways are just, they're from my, in a sense, the imagination, which is actually the zeal chakra. We're actually able to see. I'm sure there's other, the third eye and blah, blah, blah through the veils. And there are different dimensions that have energetic beings. I do understand that. But I sat there and questioned the same thing. I'm like, it could just be like the creation. But see, it's good that I am questioning all these things. If I wasn't questioning it, then you're not evolving. So I was sitting there going, well, I don't think I want to believe in them anymore. But I love my dragons.
Me too.
So I had a beautiful, beautiful water dragon come to me the past couple days. So
yeah, I've been to where my dragon lives, and I didn't want to leave. I was like, oh, please, can I just stay here?
Yeah, I've been there in dream states, and I'll literally just go and meditate, journey work, and just go sit with my dragon, not want to leave.
Yeah.
So
let's see. Oh, hearts. We were going to talk about the third heart coming online.
yeah.
That's the other thing.
Okay, so can you show? Let me see. So here is the heart. You have the higher heart. This one is really starting to come online. So you have this big heart center all the way to the back. There's another one that's right here. I'm sure, I don't know if you're picking up on more, but I'm actually picking up on points right here too as well. So this definitely has to do with the third. So I would say that they're like right here in the shoulder. I think that this is connected to the new heart center, and then these are just energetic points going all the way out. But this one is doing a lot of work right here, and that's third. Looks like you're looking at my boobs, but I'm just letting people know if they're having issues in this area right below where the the breasts are. What is that? You know, the human body.
And if you will recall last time when we were talking about the blowout out the back.
Oh yeah.
That's your third heart. It
Okay.
just got the massive cleansing. So yes, you're going to feel it all the way through to the front because that's exactly what it was doing. Good job.
That's actually the point if you actually look at it. So and I had that down on my new chakra grid a long time ago. So actually people there are he's a really cool guy, the Mel guy, he knows about it, that chakra system. Of the 12 chakra system. He does meridian energetics and twin flame work. He's awesome. I love him.
There's as much as I don't want to say it, I've heard that there's at least 12 hearts that will be coming online within the next 2 years. So I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, if we're only on number 3, that tells us, every couple of months, 2 to 3 months now, that we're going to be having an additional point or two that's going to pop up and but yeah, the shoulders, absolutely. You can really tell the difference.
Right here.
Yeah, and it's not like under the underarm or anything. It's like, it's weird. It's right
right in here, like above
the collarbone or whatever. Yeah,
right there. And it's really funny because when I do hands-on work, I actually I'll push energy through there, actually, between the feet and then up there and then where the shoulders are, and that's how I'll run all the lines. I felt that I was like, whoa, yesterday, which is on my left side, which is, the feminine energies, of course, sitting there wringing its ugly head because my masculine, I I did have too much masculine than I did the feminine energy, which is basically what is happening right now, is that we're being balanced, we're merging together, which is the union, the merging of the union, the marriage. What else? The throat chakra is also, as far as last night, ringing in the ears is like, it's just like, it'll go into high pitch and then it'll go into low pitch, high pitch, low pitch. And that is your tuning frequencies. I say the tuning of my universe. So my universe is saying hello. It's just really crazy stuff. Feeling very tired is another thing, but not being able to sleep.
Yeah, it's lovely.
You can't sleep. Dream world is off the chain, is what I say. So very much lucid dreaming, full on, as in you're in physical body. Like those are like the different dimensions. You could call it lucid dreaming, but I don't. I feel like lucid dreaming is more like a dream within a dream within a dream, where you think you're waking up. I've experienced those too. But yeah, it's like you can definitely, you can feel it. Your whole body's buzzing. Your feet is buzzing. Every single molecule inside of your body, your blood, like, is just completely vibrating. That's what I feel.
Yeah, I agree.
And the feet going, and I'm just sitting there going, I don't know if I should go run a marathon right now.
But I'm too tired to even think about it.
Yeah, I can't do anything. Like, I'd be sitting there going, I'm just going to walk around and read or do what I'm supposed to be doing. So, also I have to be contained to mom life. So I have to stay focused and grounded too. So I kind of just move through it, move through all the energies and stuff.
Yeah.
So what else do you have for the Heart Center, the new one coming online?
It's a lot of the like the betrayals that you talked about. A
Yeah.
lot of that has to deal with the stabbing in the back, the protection, the betrayals, all of these horrific things of broken hearts that we've gone through, including the death of people that we love,
Mm-hmm.
and that whole system has to be cleared.
Yeah.
So it is it's going to happen. Everybody, at some point is going to have to just, bawl their eyes out or scream or write or whatever it is that you do to be able to release it, because that's just part of the process. And I do wish that there was more I could do for some people that are really having a hard time, because it's backing up. I mean, when you're not, we're not taught how to deal with our inner work. And so it becomes this ego fight of no, we can't go there, because if you open up and do that, we don't know what's going to happen, so therefore we're just not going to even look at it.
Yeah.
And it's difficult because people are really getting pushed to the point of, am I crazy? What's wrong with me? I can't do this. I just want to check out. I don't, because it really is.
It's really, really putting people in very low states, getting worse. Like if they're going to hit rock bottom, it's beyond rock bottom right now. Like that's what I'm picking up. And then some people are getting ill, physically actually ill, and very sick. It depends on what it is. What is it? The physical body that needs the upgrading, or this is the physical body that's going through it, and then they'll become very sick and going through that too. That also is could be a start of the beginning stages of ascension too as well. So
either way, it's painful, it's unpleasant, it's ripping your life apart, which is the whole purpose.
Yeah.
I mean, it really is. Your physical body has been trained and retrained and programmed and manipulated and lied to your entire life. And it comes like we just have to sit and face going, where did this information come from? Why did I buy into it? And why am I continuing to suffer by holding on to it so dearly? And can I just let it go?
Just let it go, yes. Yeah. And everything, they want me to go back to the illnesses. Everything has to come to the surface in the physical body. It's basically from the etheric. It's rooted in the etheric body. I'm sorry, they're making me correct that. That goes on. Okay. It's from the other bodies going on into the physical body. That's where physical illnesses come from. Everything is energetic. Everything is frequency. So everything, when you start the ascension process, everything has to come to the surface to be cleared. Okay. So it could be, illnesses, rash out, breakouts, anything that you had before as chronic illnesses are going to, if it's not cleared completely, it is most likely will come to the surface to be cleared. Is there a clearing of it? Yes, there is. You just have to hold on. That's just what they're explaining to me.
Yep.
And then you have the,
scraping it off. Comes to the surface, scrape it off.
Yeah, you're basically, it's layers that we're being pulled. We're literally being forced to pull off layers upon layers upon layers. Actually very fast too.
Yes.
But it's not forced. Everybody's experience is different. It depends on how long did you stand in resistance? How much resistance do you have? The more you stand in resistance, like me, I'm completely stubborn, stood in resistance. I had more physical body symptoms. And also emotional, mental body symptoms. So it's, it's just, that's, take the hard road, Brittany, go ahead. Yeah, that was always my way. Should know, yes. Allison, you're my best friend. Why not? Why not charge through everything? Like, no, stop doing that. I decided I'm not doing that anymore. I'm going to be serene and just really slow down.
Oh, but how am I going to learn all this stuff really fast?
I'm not your guinea pig. That is it. Oh my God, even the guys are chuckling. They're like, yeah, right. I'll be back
All this
playing
stuff I
around.
learned.
Like, in no time. I'm on serious rest duty for like months. That's it.
Till tomorrow.
Till tomorrow. So there's something really cool I saw. Let's see. I didn't mess with it yet because I was like, I'm not gonna mess with this. I'm just going to observe what is being given to me. So the stargates, it looks like this tree of life. Did you know that? I know you knew. I know you know that. Okay, because actually, there's something in the Katharas teaching that actually shows you that. But they were actually showing me the whole layout of it. There's more to it than that because we're going on to it's a 360-degree angle. So now we know where the tree of life came from. That was pretty cool. So I was looking at it and I was like, I was like, thank you guys for showing me this, because all of this stuff is incorporated into the work as far as the chakra systems and stuff that the healing modality that I'm not allowed to come out with for 3 years now. Because I was like, yeah, so another 3 years, which makes sense because you said it's not going to be until another 2 years that we have more systems to go on.
Right.
So that was because they're showing me the stargates to teach people how to work with the stargates, get them activated, get them running, and then also the universal work too. So I was sitting there going, I'm not tampering with this. I was like, thank you for showing me. I am observing the download that you're giving me. I'm not going to sit there and go, oh, well, if I activate this one on and I do this and do that, I'll have to like run to you. Allison! They teleported to another.
Oh, okay. I'll be prepared.
I didn't do it. I remember sitting there until I was like, thank you so much for this download. But I was like, I'm not buying it. I was like, I know what you guys are showing me this because I'll just sit there and start doing my mad scientist stuff and start just sitting there going, well, if I do this and I do that and I do, it's just remembering. It's remembering.
It is. And what you're calling the tree of life.
It's a 360-degree. I mean, it's the whole system. It's amazing to actually look at.
The whole system of your entire soul group. All of your yous and all of your soul group back to the replicant. So there's 2 of these. And that's why they would be prepared. Don't mess with it yet. Because again, from the initial into the 2 replicants, we're all gathering into the unity of our soul group of the one energetically until we're fully the tree, the 2 trees. I mean, of course, we've always heard there was the 2 trees, the trees of good and evil or whatever it is, which is again really dumb.
Yeah.
But the 2 trees, it's the representation of the replicants that we came from.
Okay.
Back to source. So yes, I would say that by getting a vision of, I guess the way to look at that, this tree that you're calling it, I didn't.
It's not a tree. It's it's levels of stargates is something that they were showing me, which are actually within us. If you had the picture, I posted it on my Facebook before.
I mean, for basics, I mean, it would be similar, like, so that in essence, all of the souls, again, you can't draw in a 360 to give it a real look.
Yeah.
All of the me's, all of the soul group, all of those, it's like we recognize and cling back to the, I guess it's a Stargate it's actually a portal. It's whatever the next word is. It's not a portal either. We need a new language because I can't describe this laser flame thing that it is. And it's like by all of us coming back into the one, we create that.
Yeah.
Tree. So it's as though you messing with it, you're only going to be messing with your points and your part of the access, which, I mean, in essence, you don't want to do, because if you make a portal line or a new connection than, say, I don't know, Fred, that's in your soul group would be like, whoa, I had it almost there, and then the whole path just disappeared. And you're like, whoops, sorry, Fred.
Which would be energetic overlays. I wonder if that's why I'm experiencing
Yes.
the energetic overlays that I do.
Yes.
Which I keep telling my oversoul, get it together. Get rid of this stuff. I'm done. I don't want to keep having these energetic overlays. They're like, we're doing the best we can. So when I saw it, I was sitting there going, I'm not messing with this. Like, I automatically knew. But I want to look at it and be able to start the downloading process of it. But I'm not going to do what I would do before, so because I'm actually learning, and start tampering with it. To try it out. You're like, it's a new vehicle.
How about, when we talked about, you remember just in the beginning of the conversation when you talked about you would trust your crew and that you would listen to them, and information that they're bringing through is the information they want to bring through to you. So how about you just accept that instead of attempting to force it and control it in your own way, the information that you want?
Okay.
Just a suggestion.
I'll do that. Yeah, and of course my guides are like, so you basically just doubt yourself that you'll do it wrong anyways. So you're just creating that you're going to mess it up.
Correct.
Well, thanks. Which would be trust within myself.
Yes.
See? Still learning. Still going.
On and on we go.
On we go.
And that's part of, this whole belief system thing.
It's belief. So how would I break that down? Where did I lose my trust within myself and trust with with someone else? The first relationship that I can actually.
Who doubted me? Who doubted that I was capable of doing this? We should go back to childhood for all of us. We're learning to walk. What parent was like, oh my God? And we're like, dude, I got this.
Yeah.
But it's still their own fear, their own doubts that I could from an early age. So I think we always have questioned. There's so much of that we just has become a part of who we think we are, become part of the personality, that we're not even questioning it because, oh, that's just me. No, it's not.
Yeah.
No, it's not. So it becomes that circle 22, conundrum of, this is who I think I am, which is the personality. And when you stop and say, wait a minute, absolutely everything that I know on the physical was programmed into me. Everything. From parents, from teachers, from whoever it was. And it becomes, okay, how do I get rid of it?
From somebody else?
Every single bit of all of it. If I was a soul in a baby that didn't have people telling me what to do and how to do it and how to think and how I'm supposed to act, who would I be?
Exactly.
Which is pretty awesome.
So, and we're not only that, we're talking about TV, television, social groups, going to school, teachers. Music. Everything is somebody else's frequency. It's somebody else's projection that's on us. All music, everything. So imagine that. So then it goes into my learning of consciousness raising my daughter.
Yes. That
is one of my biggest lessons right now. Is how many programs am I writing from my upbringing? And that's another thing too as well. So imagine what you said and what I'm trying to do with Naomi. Imagine if I didn't tell her anything. Tell her what, those type. What type of soul would she be?
Mm-hmm.
And
that's, in a perfect world, she would be beautiful and wonderful and awesome. Mm-hmm. And yet, because we're in the world that we're in, she's going to get this conflicting information from, like you say, TV, from video games, from, kids at school, from teachers, from all the rest of it.
Yep.
Magazines, whatever. So then we have to step up our game and say, all right, I have to interfere with the programs that you're receiving to let you know that that's an inappropriate program.
Yep.
So that we feel like we're programming our children, which we don't want to do, but it's like we have to constantly unprogram them is what
Yeah.
we're doing. We look at it as though I'm unprogramming you from believing everything that the world is telling you.
Yeah.
Not an easy task.
No, because you have to start with yourself first.
Yeah.
You have to be, I'm a single parent, so it's just me. It's not like I'm gonna be like, okay, well, dad too, you need to unprogram yourself too. Just me. I'm not gonna say, sorry. It's just me, like sitting there going, I have to unprogram everything. So imagine being the parent that's coming online and that is awakening up and realizing, holy crap, and has kids. You have two parents. What if you have two parents that are completely awakened? Because there are, the pillar guy and his wife are awesome.
Yeah.
And then what if you have one that's fully awakened and one that's not parents? So what are you going to do? To go tell your husband or your wife, you need to unprogram everything. And they're going to look at you like, what are you talking about? You have to unprogram yourself to be able to even, realize with the programs that are within inside of you, not to ride over to your child, and to be able to, then maybe you might be more conscious years later, and you have to help unprogram your child. But you got to unprogram yourself first. You have to know the mechanics first to be able to help your child. That's another thing that I'm really, really getting into and learning how to do that. It's not as easy.
You're doing an excellent job at it too. You really are.
It's not as easy as what you think, man. I sat there and for one moment yesterday, I sat there and I go, I don't know anything about being a parent. When were we ever taught how to be a parent or even a conscious parent? Seriously. You want me to be I have to be consciousness because it is important to me that she's raised in full consciousness and in a conscious, not unconsciousness. I want to be able to help her there too. I don't want to force it. Am I controlling that? Oh my God, look, I just looked at that.
See?
It's like, it's just, I had to sit there and I really sat there for a minute. I'm like, when was I ever told how to be a parent? You have books, right? I literally have been going on by how I was raised. I broke a lot of cycles in my family and my genetic makeup. Not 100% of what my family, because I know you learn from mistakes of our parents, right? I would hope so. I sat there and was like, I was never taught how to do it. Like sitting there just for a minute, and it was just like this huge epiphany. It's like, okay, now I'm actually going to look more into it. So I'm going to buy a few, conscious parenting books and because you can, and really start digging into it. So it's just like a huge epiphany of like, wow, we're not taught this stuff in school. We're not taught how to do inner work in school. There's so much stuff I want to say that in these school systems need to be completely rewritten, and the teachers need to be paid more. That's what I'm going to say. And that's it. I'll drop it at that.
I'll agree.
So there's just so many things we're just like not taught at all. All right. Do you have anything else for today? We'll go into parenting another day for people that are actually parents.
That's true.
Online. We can do that.
Well, the breaking of our programs and really getting in there and looking, it's mandatory. It just has to be done.
Yeah.
It's becoming more and more difficult. I would say probably the last, 15, 16 months has been just a full out marathon on clearing. And hopefully that there's many that have done the majority of the work that needed to be done. If not, it's just a snowball. It keeps getting faster and faster.
Yeah. It's going to get accelerated. I mean, they're saying that it's literally going to be accelerated. We have so much photonic light coming through right now and so much assistance, right? It's just, it's mind blowing.
I know. And we're at September already. And I'm like, how is that possible? We know that we're getting hit, a couple of times this month. Not as I don't want to say not as severely. It's all relative. Again, I mean, it again comes back around to what are your areas that you haven't worked on, and if this particular blast of energy that comes through happens to be surrounding things that you haven't cleared out, you're going to get smashed.
Yep.
You just are. I mean, if you have done the work in that area, then it will be a little simpler, which you and I've talked about, a couple of times now. Like, oh wow, this is really my time to get hit because of whatever it was. Because again, it's individual. But it does moving forward to October. October is going to be, instead of this wave for grief, or a wave for shame, or a wave for whatever it is, these energies that have been coming through, October really feels as though it's not this one by one going through things. It's all of them.
Yeah.
All of them. So again, if we're being hit little by little in a particular area of our life, just be forewarned that in the month of September, please, please, please do everything that you possibly can. Do all of your work, because come October is another like encapsulation. It's a whole nother system. It's this whole nother system that's going online for everyone, and these things can't be in the way.
No. Which is it's in your plasma field too, as well. So a lot of stuff is being cleared out in the plasma fields and the auric fields throughout all the bodies, but it's really focusing on the plasma fields, which I on my YouTube channel, I have a clearing for that too. So, which is fine. What else before we close? Something came through and then it just disappeared. Oh, okay. So there is a good part to right, to these beautiful ascension waves that are coming through. Seeing the energies is amazing. Seeing all the little sparkles and all the auras, and I'm just seeing violet everywhere, which is normal, or greens, or pinks, and it's just there's a beautiful side to it. It's a magical side once you get past the fear of everything. It is magical. Something that I've just been doing on a regular is, like, I just will sit there and say, I choose not to be in this frequency anymore, and I switch my frequency very, very fast. I want to stay in blissfulness. I really don't want to live in pain and suffering, because I don't think that's what we have to do. Being in complete 0 point, which is being focused in on the now, is very important. Being creative is another thing. Start doing creative work. We have the new moon that's coming up too, which I'm sure we'll do another video before then. And really start getting together. What is it that you want to do? What do you want for new beginnings? What do you want to bring new into your life? It's the new moon in Virgo. Okay, so it's going to be fun.
And just because the ego mind tells you that you have to sit and really work on this and think it through and work and analyze, tell it to fuck off. Just no, you don't have to.
I go in and break it down if I feel like it needs to be broken down. At this point, I've stopped analyzing it. At this point, I'll just sit there and say, I choose not to believe in this anymore. I'm not running this anymore, and I'll shift it. I can shift it immediately, unless it's something, really needs to be sat there and looked at. Like right now, it's, becoming fully conscious parent with my daughter. So that's what I'm working on. And I shared my experiences. I have nothing to hide. And that's something that I'm working on big time. And I probably will be working on, the rest of my life. But my experiences, I'm sure I'll write a book one day about it, or talk, or help counsel parents. I really want to get into the school systems and really start changing the school systems too, about some things.
My answer to that is we create an alternate school system that runs properly.
Yeah.
Don't attempt to override the old systems. Just leave the old systems and they'll die out, because we've created the new and the better.
Yeah.
What's to be. So.
Something where they're actually taught how to function in life and not completely crash and burn. That's like a whole another thing.
Because usually by the age of 12, we've already, in historical times, we've already learned how to work through things to come to that age of knowing our soul and living from the soul at the time that we're 12. And that's why you see so many adults in, adult physical forms that still are at 12 years old. And that's why people have triggers. That's why they, have tantrums. That's why they react. That's why all of the drama is because the physical body continued to age, but their soul knowledge, growth, and how to handle things never did. They're stuck. They're stuck at 12 years old.
That's literally, they're stuck in the puberty, the beginning stages of puberty. That's why it's really critical between those times is puberty, right when you're starting puberty until you're fully matured. That is basically the mindset that you can end up staying in too. So,
and we see it. That's what we're saying.
Which I wouldn't say mindset. I would say like the whole everything.
The personality, ego,
the personality, the egos in the programs that are running. But yeah, we could do that like during a parenting discussion or something.
I would love to get into that and say, okay, here's the code. Sit back.
Here, these are your codes. Let's get in and work it. But something definitely has to be done. There has to be something done with these children. This doesn't make any sense to me. I was sitting there for a while and being like, how could we just all these children and these schools, and I see them like all over the place, is like completely low education. Like why? And the teachers are paid so low. I'm like, this is the future. These are our futures. You can spend millions and trillions of dollars on other things, but you can't even take care of the future, which is the children. You can't even, get them new playgrounds, or at least pay these teachers higher. They're the ones that are parenting your child 8 hours out of the day. Seriously, those are their second parents that they know. Just certain things. I was sitting there going, wow. And then, bringing meditation and other type of mindfulness. So, and then also being able to deal with inner working and deal with everyday things as they get older and when they leave and, they go off to college and stuff like that, etc. Just certain things. I don't want to get into it, but I was just like, wow, there's some things that really, really need to change. And hopefully one day will. I'm sitting in. We will. Yeah, we will. Yep. All right. That's it for today. I will keep rambling. Ramble on.
Bye. I love you.
Great song. Bye. All right. I love you too. Bye. We love you. Thank you for watching our show. Please become a Patreon. I will load it up on YouTube, and we'll put the website underneath. So become a member. Yeah. Bye.